Hi, it's Gary Bourne from Royal LePage, Sussex, and welcome to my second quarter real estate review for North Vancouver. Now let's get right into the statistics. For second quarter sales for North Vancouver, we ended with 686 sales. Now that was an 81% increase over the first quarter and a 5% increase over the second quarter of last year. It's interesting to note that a lot of activity is in the strata. Strata actually represents 65% of the total sales. For North Vancouver Detached, we ended the second quarter at 240 sales. This is an increase of 69% over the first quarter and about the same as what we saw in the second quarter of 2018. Active listings was fairly consistent, up about 9% after the end of the first quarter, whereas we're down 10% as compared to the second quarter of last year. Months of inventory is active listings divided by sales. Another way of looking at it would be the length of time it would take to sell all the active listings at the current pace of sales for that month. A balanced market would be between 4 and 6 months of inventory. So you can see that in April, at 8.8, it was clearly a buyer's market, whereas with the high sales in May, it dropped down to 4.6, which was a balanced market, and finished at 5.5, again, a balanced market. The housing price index through the quarter was fairly consistent. For the month of June, it's interesting to note that 50% of the sales were under $1.5 million, whereas 28% of the listings were in that same price range. In the segment over $2 million, only represented 17% of the sales, whereas 40% of the listings were over $2 million. So it's easy to see that the sales are very price sensitive. For apartments, we ended the quarter at 257, which was a 49% increase over the first quarter, but a 10% decrease over the second quarter of last year. A similar trend with May being a very strong month. Active listings decreased during the quarter, although they were 19% higher than the end of the first quarter and 85% more listings than at the end of the second quarter of 2018. Months of inventory shows that we started out in a buyer's market and we finished off in a balanced market. The housing price index showed a decrease of 2.5% over the quarter. For townhouses, we had a total of 109 sales, which was 91% increase over the first quarter and about the same as the second quarter of last year. Active listings decreased throughout the quarter, although they were 34% higher than what we ended up with on the second quarter of last year. Months of inventory shows that April was a balanced market, whereas May went into a seller's market and then June back into a balanced market. For the housing price index, there was a decrease of 1% through the quarter. To better understand the relationship between supply and demand, we look at the ratio of sales to active listings. This number is the reciprocal of the months of inventory that we talked about earlier. Downward pressure exists when the ratio dips below 12%. Home prices can experience upward pressure when it surpasses 20%. So you can see all three categories have spent most of the recent months in a balanced market after spending many months in the seller's market. Here we have the housing price index benchmark price dating back to 2006. For detached homes, they've gone down 9% over the last 12 months. And in June, the price would be the same as what it was in April of 2016. Townhouses have gone down 9.8% over the past 12 months, whereas apartments or condos have gone down 9.6%. So for strata, the prices that we're seeing at the end of June would be the same as those as of July 2017. In my last video review, I mentioned that as time went on, with decreasing prices, sellers would accept the new normal when pricing their properties. And I think they're doing that now. With the increased number of listings, Buyers are taking time to plan and make decisions. They're taking their time, but when the right listing comes up, they're ready to take action and negotiate hard. I feel that right now in North Vancouver, the real estate market is stabilizing. Thanks for watching my video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.